Hey guys, Sean T. Phillips here. Welcome to a brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today, and also getting ready for Comic-Con. So those wondering, I'm going to be at Comic-Con this week. Be there a couple of different days. I'm going to be doing one tomorrow for sure, though. Movie toy hunting video at Comic-Con tomorrow. So if there's anything specific you guys would like me to show in the video, or you would like me to try and find or anything like that, let me know in the comments below, because I'm going to be going tomorrow. Today though, I'm just going to pretty much go out, see if there's anything different that came out, see if anything's on sale. Also, the end of the video, I'm going to have a couple reviews at the end, and I'll have my big, Blu-ray DVD update at the end of the week, as I usually do on Saturday morning. But anyway, though, guys, let's get going and see if we can find anything today. Into Target we go. Yeah, like something that came out today was this one, Danny Collins, which I've not seen this one. This one's worth watching, let me know, but I've seen like some really mixed reviews on this one. But it looked like it might be okay, but I don't know what this one is. Walking on Sunshine. I don't know, I've not heard much about this one either. And I think The Gunman was last week. Token, I talked about this one. This was okay. I did not love this one. It's fine, they've got some more indie movies in this thing today. I guess there's not too much that came out today. And 5 Flights Up. I don't know much about this one either today. And then they have, Maggie, which I believe Maggie was today. I like that one a lot. That was actually pretty good. Not an absolutely perfect movie, but pretty cool. And then this one came out today from Shout Factory, Scream Factory line, Alien Outpost. This was an okay movie. And then Woman in Gold, and then Kill Me 3 Times. I'm going to talk about this one at the end of this video. Into Walmart we go. And they have, Alien Outpost here as well. And, Dark Summer. Both of those were today. I like Dark Summer. That was actually pretty good. The one kid from, It Follows, which I'll have a review of that in this week's update. He was in this movie. And I don't know, I think this was today, No Way Jose. Don't know much about this one. And I believe Joe Dirt was this week as well. I don't know what these are, like Comedy Central stand-up vault things. And there's some kind of a Bigfoot movie that came out today, Bigfoot Chronicles. I don't know if this is a horror movie or if this is what this is. I don't know about this one at all. Let me know if there's any things you want me specifically to look for at Comic-Con. Like there's certain things like some from NECA, like that Jason toy of Jason's mom, Miss Voorhees that I want to try and find. And then there's this one thing I had to look at, see how much it is. Like it's a weird limited edition, like in a paint can of all the Home Alone movies. So I'm definitely gonna look for it there. See if I don't even know if it's Blu-rays in it or just the old DVD disc put back in there. Into the soup plantation we go. So I just got the salad thing that I always get here. Salad. Let's see if there's any soups here I can get. I don't know. There's some kind of soup here that says fiery quinoa, which I don't know if that's fiery means extremely fiery or what. We'll see. Nope. Not fiery. I don't know. Well, no, maybe it comes a little later. I don't know, but it's not very fiery. Into fries we go. Into Best Buy we go. They seem to be doing like they used to do years ago and putting the new releases now in the actual sections. They were never haven't been like this for a long time, but they have the Blu-ray of Alien Outpost, from Scream Factory, and Maggie. Maggie's actually only $12.99 here. So if you guys haven't seen that one, this is definitely the best place to get it, the cheapest price. But like I said, this is actually a pretty cool movie, and I think this might be today. I don't know what this movie is. Yeah, I don't know what this is. The Lovers or something? I don't know. I do not know this one. This I really didn't care for this one, the Pack 2. I liked the first one, this just wasn't really that great. And they have, Dark Summer as well. And then this thing came out today. I don't know what this is, Infinity or something like this. I do not know about this at all. And then, this is only available here on Blu-ray, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. This is actually a pretty cool movie. Cooler, though, for like the kill scenes and the death. It was actually pretty cool, though. And this is really cheap if you guys don't have that. $29.99 for, the entire series of Married with Children. It's the Echo Bridge one. Oh no, the Mill Creek one. So, it's on like those paper sleeves, I believe. But You know, I think back to what I used to, when I spent buying these, like, each season single years back. I can't even imagine. Like, one season wasn't even that, you know, in the very beginning. Now, the first one I got from the Cohen Media Group is Deli Man, which is basically a documentary about, you know, Jewish delis and how there used to be, you know, like thousands of them, and now there's like, I think like 100, or there's very, very few locations of it. And it's basically follows around this one guy. It goes to like a whole lot of different delis, but mainly this one guy who's, you know, real passionate about the place, and just kind of follows him around and talks about how there's not really a whole lot of money to be made in anymore. It's kind of like you have to do this for your passion, and kind of about fusion, and some that kind of stick to the original recipes and some that kind of change things up. But it's kind of just going to different delis. It actually films some in the one that I go to quite a bit when I go to LA, you know, the Cantor's Deli. I actually really like this. I love documentaries like this. You know me, I always watch like Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives and all these kind of things. And it's mainly the best, like I said, because it follows around the one guy at his deli, just with him like ordering the meats and kind of the things that he's doing, and kind of his own relationships and trying to find his, you know, his girlfriend. And I don't know, I love this thing. I thought this was a really, really fun documentary. I think you guys really like this if you like those kind of shows and documentaries about restaurants and things like that. And also the ones that kind of are more fun and kind of just have like fun aspects to them. It has on here too, like this one of him going to like a factory where they make like, you know, like the fish, when they dry the fish out and all that kind of stuff, and a bunch of other different features as well in the movie. The next one from Anchor Bay, and this is one that I had not heard anything about. It has Diane Lane, Elizabeth Banks, and Dakota Fanning, and it's called Every Secret Thing. This is actually kind of a weird movie. Like, it was kind of like odd, like really kind of odd. It was about, in the beginning of this movie, is these two kids that were like, I guess they were like, I think they were 11 years old. In the beginning of the movie, you see them like with this little kid, like this baby. And I'm like, wait, what happened? And then it cuts to them, you know, you finding out that the baby ended up dying, and like they believe that both of these girls, you know, killed this baby, and they went away to jail. I believe when they turned, it was like 18. I think it was when they turned 18, they both got out of jail, you know, and finally came out. And the one girl is like totally like acts like she's a kid still, and really like really messed up over the whole thing, and really seems nuts. Dakota Fanning is kind of gone trying to get a job at this restaurant, and sort of trying to get away from it. She always said that she had nothing to do with this and was framed, and the other girls said the same thing about how she did it. And it's basically, though, right when they get out of jail, this one little girl ends up going missing. And it's kind of like wondering, did these girls who got out of jail, who had a similar case like this, were they involved with this? So it's kind of like Elizabeth Banks is a cop, kind of trying to investigate it, figuring out what's going on, why at the same time, you know, trying to figure out if it's somebody else. And it was actually pretty good. Like I said, it's kind of a weird movie, and kind of one I feel like not a lot of people are going to see, but I actually kind of thought it was pretty good. And the director of this directed the documentary in the West Memphis 3, you know, not the Paradise Lost ones, but the other one from a couple years back. The next one from Magnolia, you know, from the Magnet line, is Kill Me 3 Times. And this has, you know, Simon Pegg in this, and Teresa Palmer. And it's one of those kind of movies when it kind of like goes back and forth in time, because it's like basically involving like these 3 different murders and things like that, but it like cuts like different times, so it kind of shows one thing in the beginning. You see like Simon Pegg's character going around kind of scoping out and following around these people. You know, you see Teresa Palmer's character like trying to do something with his car, lighting the car on fire, and they're trying to plan to kill this woman, like, but it's kind of like cutting around, and like then you kind of see, you know, what resolved in making them want to try and kill this woman, and it kind of goes back and forth between them. And that's kind of what it was. It was okay. I can't, it was reminding me of something else. I couldn't think of it offhand exactly what it was, but you know, I really like Teresa Palmer, you know, from Warm Bodies and a bunch of different other movies. And Simon Pegg is always good, but it's just kind of like one of these movies that kind of all about like these murders and like scheming and kind of cutting to different points, like at all different points between the movie. It doesn't like play like a straightforward movie. It's like a different aspect at different times, you know, showing. The next one from Cinedigm is the Jokesters, and this was a kind of like it was like a found footage kind of thing, kind of about like these YouTube guys, you know, had like a prank show where they always were doing pranks on their friends and things like that. Very popular, you know, had like millions of views. But then for some reason, like they kind of like are tired of it, like they don't want to do it anymore. The one friend is getting married, so they kind of think it's going to like be the end of them, and they're not gonna, you know, not gonna be able to do it anymore, which to me, like, if they were like making those many views and stuff like that, I feel like they wouldn't really quit doing that. They'd find a way to keep it going or do it some other way or something. Because like, if you had that many subscribers and followers, I doubt you would really just go, I'm just done with this. But they basically, though, are playing their one big, like, prank on the one guy who just got married. And he's going out on his honeymoon out into the cabin in this woods, and they're out there coming to party with him and everything like that. And it's kind of about them like planning this whole elaborate thing, but it doesn't really go right, and all kind of bad things happen. They're wearing these masks and people are getting killed off and things like that. Like I said, it was all done like found footage. I thought that it was okay. Didn't like totally get into the movie, but it was like an interesting movie, like if you're interested in that kind of a film. The next one from Alchemy, and this was like called Madame Bovary. It has Maya Wachowski. I never know how to say her name right. And Ezra Miller, who was in We Need to Talk About Kevin, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And Paul Giamatti. And this is like kind of a romantic movie about this girl who ends up, this is all like in the Victorian kind of era, and she ends up getting married to this guy, but she's kind of like, she doesn't really seem like she really even likes him, and she has to move to this small town, and she really wants to be near the city and like go to Paris and all these other things, but she's kind of stuck in this small town, doesn't really want to be there. Then she starts to kind of see Ezra Miller's character, starts to like him. She also likes this other guy. It's kind of like, in the beginning of the movie, you see her like drink something and fall to the ground. You presume she dies, so it's kind of like wondering, you kind of like getting to the point of what led to that happening, what you see in the very beginning, in the first second of the movie. It was okay. When it comes to these kind of like period piece movies, like some of these I really like the other Brolin Girl, and some of these other ones of them I cannot get into them that much. This one I thought was okay, but didn't, really, really nice cinematography, everything like that. Just didn't totally get into this one as much as some other ones. The next one is the Poltergeist from Lionsgate, and this is like Poltergeist Real Life Hauntings, which is basically 6 tales of haunting and exorcisms and things like that. But it's basically from a bunch of different History Channel kind of shows. So it's not like one show called like the Poltergeist or anything like that. It's like a whole bunch of different ones. Like I think like Monster Quest and some like really old ones too. Like talks about like the Lizzie Borden house and the Salem witch trials and ghosts and things like that. But it's basically taking from episodes of like a whole bunch of different History Channel shows from like going back to like the early 90s up until more recently. So it's actually kind of cool though, because there's a whole bunch of different ones to get like a compilation of them together. The next one from Magnolia is White God, which is a pretty good movie. And I didn't even know this. I think it was shot in I don't know where this one was shot, but it basically, I think in Hungary, and it's basically, Hungarian film. It's basically for something about in this area, like if you have like a mixed breed dog, you have to pay all these extra taxes and this kind of stuff. And this girl ends up moving in with her father for the summer because her mother is away on business, so she has to stay there. Ends up bringing her dog along because there's no one else to take care of the dog. And they get there, and then the neighbor of this place is real like going, oh, you can't have this dog in this building. You have to all this stuff. And then the police come around and say you have to pay this tax, and he's being real cheap about it, doesn't want to pay it. So then he ends up letting the dog free because he doesn't want to deal with it. And it's kind of about the dog's journey to try and get back, and it kind of like because it's an R-rated movie, so it kind of takes like a dark turn, and the stuff with these all the dogs like banging together and stuff like that. It's actually a pretty cool movie. And like some reviews say, oh, like the kid was being like a brat, and like wasn't like. The thing is though, it's one of those kind of movies where you're kind of rooting for the kid because the parents were kind of being like sort of mean about everything. And there's some of those movies like that when you watch it, like the parents are real like, ugh, you can't stand those parents, and the guy is like pretty bad and not accepting it's kind of all what he wants. And that's kind of what this was like. That's the way the dad was to the daughter about the dog and making her get rid of him and being real cheap and not wanting to pay the tax and stuff like that. But it was actually a pretty cool movie. And the last one from Midnight Releasing, and I kind of thought this was going to be like a Mr. Ice Cream Man movie. It's not exactly like that. It wasn't as much like ice cream stuff as much as I was hoping, but it's called Cruel. This one's, I believe, is going to be in Redbox soon as well. But this is basically about this guy, who basically becomes like, you know, this girl, it's another of those movies when the parents were like, this girl was like 20-something years old, and the parents were like, you have to be home by this time. You know, I kept focusing on that, because, like, they kept on, like, really bothering this girl, going, you can't be out late. You gotta be home. You're under our roof. You have to be home by 10, and all this stuff. It was really weird the way they were treating this girl, because she was way too old to be getting talked to like this. And they're, like, talking to her like that, but then there's, like, this ice cream man, that guy that ends up, like, they presume killed these kids, and she was supposed to be watching these kids, and then the mother's like, I don't want to ever see you around here again. I don't want to see you in my vicinity, in my sight. She was real angry about what happened, and, like, you know, it really wasn't even her fault, because the kids she was watching them, but they ended up going missing when she was watching them, and the ice cream man got them, or presumed that she got them, and then this ice cream man becomes like obsessed with her, and that's pretty much what the movie was. The next one I got is Tormented. This is from Vertical Entertainment. And this is basically about, at the beginning of the movie, though, it starts out with this girl who ends up, you know, at this party, and there's a video of her, you know, with this guy that ends up, you know, leaking out, and, you know, she didn't really do this thing with this guy, but it ends up leaking out, and all the kids at school are giving all kinds of crap about it, and the principal's seen it. Everyone's seen this video, and then the mom has even seen it and says to her, you know, she starts screaming at her, saying, you know, I can't believe you've done this, and then she's like, you know, you're going to babysit these kids, so she makes them babysit these kids out in the middle of this countryside kind of area. And, you know, when she gets out there, she's already, you know, stressed out about everything that happened. Then she gets to this house, and she starts getting weird telephone calls, and she thinks it's the boyfriend that was in the video, and thinks it's him trying to, you know, mess with her, and she doesn't know what it is. Then she gets a knock at the you know, at the house, and ends up being this little kid wearing this pig mask, and this other guy in the pig mask, and then basically things start going bad, and then it's kind of about them, you know, being tracked down by these people that are coming in there and kind of hiding out, trying to call the police, and the police aren't coming, and it's kind of all that kind of stuff, all these kind of concerns if the police are going to get there. Kind of has like a vibe of like You're Next mixed with The Strangers and things like that. But it wasn't that bad. And the next one for Vertical Entertainment as well is Pressure, and this is kind of like Blackwater, you know, the one with the going down with the sub and things. It's kind of a similar movie. It's about basically these people who are going down in a, you know, underwater submarine thing, that kind of like a sub thing to go down to fix this pipe that ended up getting messed up. But, you know, they get down there and something goes wrong with the submarine. The thing starts crashing down, and they end up basically on the bottom of the ocean. And, you know, it has all that stuff with like decompression and things like that. And if they do things wrong, you know, their heads will explode, you know, all that kind of stuff. And they kind of have to figure out how they're going to get back up to the top, because the communications are out. And that's essentially what it is. And then figuring out if there's a way to get the capsule thing that they took down, get it back up, you know, and find a way to, you know, take it up themselves, because they can't get in touch with them and things like that. It was okay. Like I said, I would prefer Blackwater to this, though, but it was okay. You know, it's an interesting kind of thing about people, you know, kind of stuck in one setting and trying to figure out how to survive. Well, guys, that's all for this video, and be sure to check out my upcoming videos from Comic-Con and my new Blu-ray DVD update, my full update, which is going to be up this weekend. Anyway, there you go, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.